Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com, and this will be my analysis of some of the more popular futures markets out there for day traders. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. One quick clarification, I'll be using the 1 hour time frame, meaning each of these candlesticks here, as they're called in case you're new, represents 60 minutes worth of time. So each candlestick represents 60 minutes of time. First market here, we are looking at the NQ, and as a reminder, if you trade the MNQ, what I talk about here can still be applied since they are a mirror image of one another. Now, this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the previous video, but if you did, talked about this big wedge formation here, and you can see right here, wasn't necessarily the cleanest break. It broke, and then this was a nasty move. So, I mean, if this caught you, I understand. It started to come down, snap back up here, and then on the second attempt down when it broke, that was what really opened up the floodgates. So, by no means a clean break, and that's why you got to have stop losses because, yeah, it happens. But that movement down there could have been a very big payday. But regardless, that has now been violated. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of both those lines as they serve their purpose for now. And going into the next session, key area of resistance, if there is any sort of attempted bounce back upwards, in my opinion, right here around the 20,215 mark. So 20,215 is going to be that first key battleground. Like I said, if this does try to bounce back upwards, if it can push up through there, then another interesting level of resistance to keep a close eye on in the next session is going to be that 50 period moving average up there, which you can see somewhat acted as resistance there, but definitely acted as resistance earlier on in the day. So keep an eye on that, like I said, but getting too focused on that purple line, a little bit getting ahead of yourself because, I mean, first, like I said, the price needs to prove itself by being able to get above that level right there. In terms of levels of support, for this, I'm actually going to change to the 4 hour time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks now represents 4 hours because you're seeing here, it has been, in fact, let's just do this. Yeah, I didn't realize it. It's been a long time. So let's go to the daily time frame. So now each one of these represents an entire day. But next level of support now where this thing could very realistically be headed and potentially get a bounce from is right here at the 19,280 mark. So it has now entered into some territory. Like I said, there's no guarantees that anything's going to drop straight down to that level. All I'm saying is when you just look through this history of the chart, there just isn't any other data points that suggest there could be any other areas of support. So yes, now entering into the territory where is this really unlocking another round of bearish pressure that could, very realistically take it down to 19,280. The next few sessions are certainly going to get very interesting. Next one here, the ES, and overall this one looks better, not as bad as the NQ, but nonetheless, it's hanging in there. It's doing its best. What do I mean hanging in there? Well, it's had this sideways channel where it's been chopping back and forth, bottom of the channel being right here at 57.45, and you can see right now, yeah, it spent some time down below there throughout the course of the day, but this candle here has got it oh so slightly back above that area. So right now, I'm just going to give the bulls the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, the price is maintaining the bottom part of the channel, but it's certainly very, very sketchy. There's no need, to deny that. But what I also want to do is, what would be the confirmation point where you could say, okay, no, this has officially been broken. And I would say if it violates that level right there at 57.22. So I'll make that look a little different just so we can kind of keep that in mind. But any sort of breaks down below 57.22, that would be official that this level here, the overall channel that's been kind of bouncing back and forth, that this channel here has officially been violated. So that would be the confirmation point of sideways channel violation. In regards to levels of resistance, nothing really new compared to what I talked about previously. You still have this zone up here, but that's somewhat irrelevant right now given how far the price went down today. In the near term, like the NASDAQ, the NQ, keep an eye on that 50 period moving average, which you can see now has a track record of behaving as resistance. But yes, things are looking sketchy. It's trying to hold the bottom of the channel, but we'll see if it can indeed continue to do that in the next session. Next one here, we are looking at the YM, which is measuring the Dow Jones 500. And this one looks, maybe you already noticed right here. This one, all things considered, when all these other markets, especially the NQ was getting shattered, the ES is barely hanging on. And this one, I mean, it bounced beautifully. Now, this does mean more to those that watch past videos, but if you've been watching the past videos I've done, you know that I've been talking about that level, and I mean the power of charts. Look at it. Bounced off that level. Bounced off it many times here. So from this angle, was it a great day? By no means was it a great day, but it's at least still maintaining inside of this sideways channel. Yes, it's knocking on the door of the lower part, but there have been no sideways, pattern violations. It hasn't violated to the upside, hasn't violated to the downside. So in all actuality, nothing has really happened. Now, yes, I realize from the day trading standpoint, a lot has happened. The price came down here, went up here, came down here. But just taking a step back and looking at multiple sessions as we're doing here, the price is still within the sideways channel. So from that angle, it's still just a kind of a wait and see. Who's ultimately going to win this battle? Bottom part of the channel, support 42,415. Top of the channel of the pattern, resistance right up there around 43,165. So yeah, grab your popcorn and we'll see if we can get some sort of answer into the next session. We're now moving out of the indices and into the oil market. Specifically, we will take a look at crude. So we are looking at CL, and the downwards drift continues, and it's been a rough ride. In fact, I mean, look at this opening part right here. I mean, this was a huge drop right there. But overall, the one thing that maybe, just maybe, I'm going to get rid of that. It served its purpose for now, because I think these are going to be the two key technical levels that people are watching moving into the next session. The first one not being anything new. I've talked about this several times, but that's going to be that 50-period moving average. In fact, that's right where it got smacked down this morning. So that's going to be one level that you got to think a lot of people are watching and probably building trade plans around. The other level that you got to think people are, because everybody and their brother's uncle is probably drawing that trend line right there. That's not a complicated trend line. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply that that took great skill or a special discovery. A lot of people have done that, and I make all those comments because when a lot of people are watching the same exact trend line and wondering the same exact things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can produce some very dynamic movements, and that is what we have right here. So there are no guarantees, but you could see some people thinking, well, go down there, I think it'll bounce. Okay, I can see where those people are thinking. Other people are going to be thinking, well, I think if it goes down there and breaks, that's going to open up the floodgates. I totally see where they're coming from too, but that's why risk management matters, because somebody's going to be right, somebody's going to be wrong. But in my opinion, the common denominator there is that everybody is going to be watching that trend line. So if that trend line does come into play, I think things will get very, very spicy in that event. But no need to overcomplicate things. Like I said, moving into the next session, I think all eyes going to be on that purple line right there as the resistance. All eyes going to be on that trend line right there as support. So we'll have to see what happens. Next one here, we are looking now in the precious metal market, specifically gold, so GC. And really, from the bigger picture standpoint, assuming you've watched past videos, nothing has really changed. I mean, we have this sideways channel right here. Price is currently right there. So in the bottom half of the channel, but all for argument's sake, basically it's stuck right here in the middle of the channel, even as I speak right now where the price is. Now, the one interesting tidbit was there was some false hope for the bears. Bears were like, hey, here we go. We got the break. And then the bulls. This is why stop losses matter, because I can understand why people may have wanted to get short right there. And, if you're a scalper, maybe there was enough opportunity there. But yeah, I mean, broke down and then just like that, snapped back up inside of the range. So yes, a pretty brutal move right there. But all things, considered, and with the dust now settled, the price is essentially still right in between the sideways channel. So I would still contest that 29.06 is that key area of support. If the price comes down there, I would not call you crazy to think maybe you'd want to get short, but you also want to keep in mind that, yeah, the last time it did that, it got pretty, it was a pretty cruel move. Doesn't mean another cruel move will happen, but just something that you would want to factor into any sort of decision-making process you have. In terms of areas of resistance, again, yes, you have the top part of the channel right there, but I do think that this line here is probably getting drawn into play by a whole lot of people, which brings us back to that talking point of self-fulfilling prophecies. So keep an eye on that. I'll have it be a little bit different right there if the price does try to curl back upwards. But yeah, overall, gold is still within the sideways channel. So that wraps up the analysis, and hopefully you checked out the link or at least saw it at the top of that page. But if you go there, that will lead you to Take Profit Trader and apply the current promotion that they are running right now, which is 30% off the test accounts. And then the big one, no activation fee, which in and of itself is a $130 value. But make sure you check them out. It is who I use. It's who I recommend. And they have a great payment policy. You can request payments as many times as you want and whenever you want, and in whatever amount you want to request payments. So very, very beneficial in that regard, and I'm very pleased with them. They pay certainly quickly, and then they're all open to pretty much everybody around the world. Now, if you see your country on that list, unfortunately for you, you would not be able to use them. But if your country is not on that list, then yeah, they are a great and straightforward way to get involved trading the USA market. So be sure to check them out. And again, make sure you use that link so you can get the current promotion. As far as these videos are concerned in the analysis, if you like these, please hit that like button. And if you're looking for a super free and easy way to support the channel, please hit the subscribe button. So thanks for watching. Take care.